Alright, so the boring and isolated times prepare you for blissful magic. What do I mean by that? On this channel, I have previously made some videos called Why the Universe Isolates You, Go Within, where I talk about the need for isolation and the spiritual significance of isolation or boring periods where you are not stimulated by external forces. And this causes you to go deeper within to yourself. In this video, I will explain some other benefits of kind of going within and why these boring or isolated periods of times allow magic to flow into your life once that period is over. So it prepares you by making you more sensitive towards any external stimulation. Because when you are living a very simple life, when you don't have a lot of people around you, you become more in touch with yourself. And you become in touch with your real self, with your authentic desires, with your spirituality. That's usually when you have the biggest breakthroughs. I talk about creativity a lot on this channel, and I have a video called Nikola Tesla's Secret for Creativity, Go Within. There I talk about Nikola Tesla and how he described that isolation was one of the key ingredients towards his genius, and how all the best ideas came to him during periods of isolation. And he was isolated all the time. He literally has a quote: be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. I completely understand that subject. Now, isolation and boring periods kind of get you more in tune with your spirituality and make you look within. And this opens up your fantasy. This opens up certain visions that you may receive in just your mind or during dreams, right? And you get a real deep exploration of your inner world. You really get to know yourself at a much deeper level when you are isolated, or when you're bored, when there's nothing around you to stimulate you but what you create out of it, right? What you create in your own mind to entertain yourself, to stimulate the mind, you see? Because there is simply a lack of that coming from any external factor. It's not coming from some fun experience, it's not coming from friends or girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you may have. It must be transmuted to come from within. So that creates a very interesting spring effect. You know about the spring effect? It's like the harder you pull back the spring, the farther you can fly, then, It's like the farther you go, the higher you can fly, you see? And it's kind of a similar concept with highs and lows. I don't know about you, but I'm very like extreme when it comes to like moods. I'm either like very high or very low. I am seldom in the middle. It's rare that I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm usually at a high or at a low. And that's what this video is about. It's that the low makes you so much more grateful for the high, which is inevitably going to come. And that means that anything good that's going to come into your life after that period of isolation, after that period of um, boredom, in a sense, it is going to be seen through a lens of gratitude and deeper understanding and just deeper appreciation of what is now flowing into your life, because you were depleted of that for such a long time. It's like taking like a Buddhist monk who has been sitting and meditating in a monastery for 20 years and give him an ice cream, and that ice cream is going to taste like so much more extreme to him. He's going to be so much more sensitive to the taste of that ice cream compared to somebody who eats ice cream every day. You put that Buddhist monk on a roller coaster or get him to like have sex with someone. I don't know if that's what he wants, but what I'm trying to say is that any stimulation is now going to be so much more intense for him because he is now kind of oversensitive towards any external stimulation. That's kind of what I'm going through now. I'm kind of the Buddhist monk now who's in the monastery for 20 years, but um, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's that once that period ends, magic is literally gonna flow into your life. Even if a normal person, okay, that's a bad example. What do I mean by a normal person? If a person who has like a very stable life, a person with a very stable life is not gonna experience as much gratitude and just see the same magic around things as a person who was depleted or isolated from certain things and who didn't have access towards certain things and now does, you see? And I feel like that's a big part of why the universe makes you suffer in general, or why the universe doesn't allow you to have certain things that you want, or, delays things for you. It is because you must learn to appreciate what you have now. You must learn to appreciate your inner state. And then anything that comes to you in the future is going to be seen through a lens of extremely heightened gratitude and understanding. So during those boring, isolated periods, you also develop a deep gratitude for the past experiences where you were super like stimulated, where you were having like the time of your life. For me, that was the 10-month military service I've gone through. It's literally the best period of my life so far. No joking. No girlfriend has even come close. No friendship has come close. No amount of money that I've made has come close. Nothing materialistic I've acquired has come close to how magical that period of my life was. And after the military, I did enter this like little state where I'm nowhere near as stimulated or excited or like, going crazy, which I like to do, as I did then. Which means that I am able to look back at those times, and I was, during the last couple of months, able to remember little moments which I forgot before. I was able to feel gratitude towards some interactions I've had in the past, towards some experiences, relationships, stuff like that. This is what this isolation is for. This is what this boring period is for you to just like widen your lens, kind of open the horizon of how you view the world, of how you view your past experiences. And you are now prepared to walk into the future with this heightened sensitivity, deeper gratitude, and appreciation for anything at all, which means that anything which comes your way is going to feel absolutely magical. You see? So, the conclusion of this video is that you can be very grateful for boring periods of your life, because the longer that boring period lasts, the harder the spring gets pulled backwards, the harder you're gonna project upwards. You see? It's like a boring, isolated period is like a rocket receiving fuel. It's like a rocket being fueled up. And then when it ends, you can take off in a way in which you couldn't if you had not built up that internal fuel. You see? And that means that you can learn to be grateful for the lows. You can appreciate the lows. And that's something very difficult to understand, because when I have lows, okay, let me say something. When I have lows, right? It's so low. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. It feels like it's gonna last forever. But I know I will come out, right? I know I will come out because I always do. And when I come out of the lowest low, I usually have a new higher high, you see? Because everything is like a principle of polarity. If you are not familiar with the principle of polarity, it's like a hermetic philosophy, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the mind. I believe it's that. If that doesn't make sense for you, then there's a quote by Carl Jung, which is that no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. I think that's a better example for, yeah, I think that's a better example. So you understand that if you want to reach heaven with one arm, your other arm is gonna be closer to hell, you see? That's really a state which I embody. That's really kind of what I'm dealing with. Not by choice, that's just how my brain chemistry operates, I guess. Um, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that look, when I have a low, when I'm at a low, it's so bad. And it's not so bad because of like outside forces. It's I create that thing for myself in my mind. I make it bad for myself. But when I'm at a low, it feels like it's gonna last for eternity. It feels like there's no way you're getting out of this ever. But then, literally, some universal power, something outside myself, pulls me out of it and kind of pushes me towards a high which I've never seen before, a peak which I've never experienced before. And all that in like a sober state. So don't get it confused with that kind of high and low, you see? So, yeah, why you can be grateful for the lows is because even though during the low it feels like you're not gonna get out, it feels confusing, it feels dark and miserable and very disempowering, you can even be grateful for that. You can be grateful for that. You can learn to be grateful for that because you understand that without a low this low, you would not be able to project towards a new high which you may have never seen before, which means that the low has reasoning. There is a fixed meaning behind the low. There's a fixed meaning behind a long period of isolation in your life. There's a meaning behind a boring period of your life. So you can be grateful for honestly absolutely anything. I feel like it's a very powerful position which you can achieve on your spiritual journey when you're truly able to be grateful for everything that comes your way. Holy shit. Okay, let me suggest you a song. There's a group called Iyaterra, Iyaterra, and they have a song called Give Thanks. Give Thanks. If what I've been saying in this video resonates with you, listen to that song. Very beautiful song. And a very beautiful band. Listen to all the other stuff they have. It's amazing. Where was I? Yeah, it's difficult to be grateful for absolutely everything because that's what the low wants you to perceive. The low wants you to perceive that, oh, everything is so horrible, you know, but that's to engulf you in that principle of polarity, in that human experience. It's so that you can have this deeper appreciation of the high. But as difficult as it is to appreciate the low during the low, if you can learn to do that, if you can learn to appreciate the low, knowing that it is equally powerful and equally as important towards your journey as the high, you will reach a very powerful position, I believe, on your spiritual journey. That is a very interesting thing I just said. Yeah. I mean, I'm nowhere close to that. Like, I'm new to this whole thing. I haven't even been alive for this long. You see, I just spawned. I just spawned, looking like Humpty Dumpty over here. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't pull Humpty together again. Okay, where was I? Yeah, learn to appreciate the full picture because it's the same thing. The low is the same thing as the high. You understand? Yeah. And I think I've explained everything I wanted to. And my explanations, which I've brought in this video, are why the boring or isolated periods of your life prepare you for blissful magic to flow into your life. It is inevitable, and all you need to do is keep going because unless you believe that nothing good is ever gonna come into your life again, which is not a belief aligned with reality, that makes any low endurable. That makes any low endurable. And it's like, you don't know when you're gonna reach that peak of your existence. Cause bro, I'm 20, you see, and I'm over here stressing and going crazy as is quite normal for my age, but like, what if my peak is at 25? What if my peak is at 30? What if my peak is at 35 or 40? What if, because I'm studying medicine as well, what if my peak is 70 years old? You don't know when you're gonna peak. You don't know when you're gonna have the time of your life. You don't know when you're gonna be able to have the biggest influence on the world and help the most amount of people. Something like that. You don't know during which period of your life you are going to be the most important and valued for the collective of humanity, which means that you just keep swimming. What did Dory the fish say? You just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And now I'm completely going crazy, so I'm gonna just wish you guys a good day and thank you for watching this video. I hope you could learn something. And yeah, magic is on its way to you. Claim it. See ya.